The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, renowned and wise, once uttered, "The essence is to associate only with individuals who uplift you, whose presence brings forth your best." You've probably heard the expression, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with." Today we will explore this idea from a Stoic perspective. We'll address the 7 types of individuals that can hinder your progress in Stoic philosophy and how to deal with these challenging relationships. A brief pause to thank everyone for the 80,000 subscribers milestone. The results we've achieved with this channel in such a short time are unbelievable. Our first video was posted just 2 months ago, and today we are almost at 100,000. If possible, I aim to reach this milestone within this month, so if you're not yet subscribed, I kindly ask you to subscribe and hit the bell to not miss any videos. And once again, thank you all. I would like to briefly invite you to visit our exclusive channel store, the STOICUS Store. There you can find t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, backpacks, and much more. The entire store has a 20% opening discount, so take advantage. It's only for a short time. Follow us on Instagram and tag us using one of our products. It will be an honor to share this experience with you. If you have any questions or information, our team will answer you there. Now, without further ado, let's get to the video. First type of people, the complainer. We all know that friend, family member, or colleague who seems to find faults in everything, whether it's the weather, the job, or even the food at a popular restaurant. They never miss an opportunity to express their dissatisfaction. You might wonder, why should this concern me? I can simply ignore them. Well, that's easier said than done. Consistent exposure to such negativity has a draining effect on your mental well-being. It's akin to a dripping tap, slowly depleting your reservoir of emotional energy. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actionable solutions rather than dwelling on problems. For example, imagine you're collaborating on a project with someone who's a chronic complainer. Every meeting turns into an exhausting session of complaints, devoid of constructive dialogue. The impact on the team morale is negative. You're diverted from finding actionable solutions and are likely to become increasingly disillusioned with the project and possibly even life in general. So how does Stoicism help us deal with a complainer? There are several strategies you can employ. First, limit your exposure to this individual whenever possible. If that's not possible, perhaps because they are a family member or colleague, then your second option is to distance yourself mentally during their diatribes. Think of their complaints as a passing storm, loud and disturbing, but ultimately temporary and powerless against the unshakable mountain that is your own inner tranquility. Your third option is to steer the conversation towards solutions or change the subject to something more constructive. To quote Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This timeless Stoic wisdom encourages us to diligently protect our mental peace, ensuring that the negativity of chronic complainers doesn't veer us off our Stoic path of resilience and virtue. Second type of person, the drama magnet. Imagine you are navigating through life like a ship sailing on calm waters, but then you encounter the whirlpool known as the drama magnet. This individual seems to have an endless series of crises, conflicts, or controversies, and like a whirlpool, they have the disturbing ability to pull you into their vortex of chaos. You might initially be drawn to the energy of drama magnets, mistaking it for passion or excitement. However, you will soon realize that being in their orbit is like navigating a ship through a storm, exhausting and perilous. Now, what makes dealing with drama magnets so complicated is that their crises often can feel like your own. Their chaos is contagious, and you might even find yourself embroiled in conflicts you had no initial involvement with. Let's provide a practical example. You have a friend who frequently quarrels with other people in your social circle. Today, they are not speaking to Maria or Joao. Your friend comes to you seeking advice, but you realize this cycle never ends, and suddenly you find yourself in disagreement with Maria or Joao too, because you tried to intervene. In this case, you can employ a strategy called reflective listening. Instead of offering advice or taking sides, Mirror their words back to them. For example, if they say, "I can't believe Maria said that about me," you can respond, "So you're feeling betrayed by Maria's words." This technique allows you to provide emotional support without getting entangled in the drama. Another approach, one that might seem counterintuitive, is to become selectively unavailable. Stoicism reminds us to highly value our time, and sometimes that means being unavailable for other people's crises, especially if they are recurrent and unresolved. Turn off your phone during certain hours. Create periods of focus where you concentrate solely on your work or personal development, and make it clear that during these times, you do not wish to be disturbed. Paraphrasing Seneca, true happiness is enjoying the present without anxious dependence on the future. This can be especially useful when dealing with drama magnets. Instead of anxiously wondering what crisis will happen next, focus on the present moment, where you have control. Enjoy your life and don't let it be disrupted by someone else's drama. Make it a point to steer your ship calmly, avoiding whirlpools that threaten your journey towards personal growth and tranquility. Third type of person, the pessimist. Picture this. You are an artist painting a canvas. Each brushstroke adds color, depth, and life to your vision. And then comes the pessimist. They enter your studio, look at your work, and immediately start to criticize. "Are you sure about this color? It doesn't seem realistic. You know most artists don't succeed, right?" Their words, like strokes of gray paint, begin to dull your vibrant canvas. It's not the typical constructive criticism, which can be valuable. Instead, it's a persistent aura of doubt and negativity. For example, let's say you're excited to pursue a new career path. You've done your research, talked to professionals in the field, and maybe even taken some preliminary courses. When you share your enthusiasm with the pessimist, they quickly list all the reasons why it won't work out. The market is too competitive. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Quickly, their doubts start to feel like your own, and the confident vision you had begins to waver. Now, how to deal with a pessimist, especially when they might be someone close to you. An unconventional yet effective method is to ask for their advice rather than just sharing your plans or aspirations. When people are placed in an advisory role, they are less likely to attack your ideas directly and may offer more constructive feedback. Another method involves flipping the script through a technique called positive confrontation. Instead of absorbing their negativity, challenge them to think of solutions. If they say you'll never be able to switch careers at this stage, counter with an intriguing perspective. How do you think someone could successfully transition careers then? This not only deflects the negativity, but also encourages a more constructive form of conversation. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening doesn't mean absorbing negativity from everyone. It means discerning between valuable input and mere noise. When pessimists begin to obscure your canvas with their shades of doubt, take a step back, listen, reflect, and keep painting your own life with the colors that speak to you. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a gray, lifeless landscape. Fourth type of person, the victim. Imagine life as a chess game, where each player has the same pieces and the same objective, to checkmate the opponent's king. You think strategically, make some sacrifices, and take some risks. However, the victim blames the board, the pieces, or even their opponent for every bad move they make. In their eyes, they are perpetually in checkmate, not because of their choices, but because of some external force working against them. Their narrative is an endless tale of misfortunes, with themselves in the role of the helpless protagonist. "I can't progress in my job because my boss doesn't like me," or "I can't get in shape because I have bad genetics." Now, it's crucial to note that some people face genuine difficulties and systemic issues. However, the victim we are discussing uses their situation as a permanent excuse, refusing to take any responsibility for their actions or lack thereof. You may find yourself entangled in their plot, perhaps as the secondary character who constantly needs to rescue them. Let's say you've spent countless hours listening to a friend blame their numerous failed relationships entirely on their ex-partners. This not only consumes your time, but can subtly encourage you to adopt a similar victim mentality in your own life. So, what's your move when dealing with a victim? It may be tempting to become their savior, offering endless advice and emotional support. However, the Stoics would advise caution against this. They would recommend establishing a firm boundary to protect your own mental state. You could employ a technique known as compassionate detachment. Show empathy and kindness, but don't try to rescue them from situations they need to face on their own. Offer a listening ear, but refrain from becoming their perpetual problem solver. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who committed the injustice." If you find yourself drawn into the victim's narrative, resist the urge to become one yourself. Take control of your own board, make your moves, and remember that in the chess game of life, being perpetually in checkmate is often a choice, not a destiny. Move your pieces forward, make strategic sacrifices when necessary, and play not for revenge or pity, but for growth and wisdom. Fifth type of person, the toxic optimist. You know this person, always exuding sunshine, rainbows, and endless emojis. They are the ones who tell you to just be happy when you're going through a tough time, dismissing your feelings and experiences with a wave of bright optimism. Imagine your life as a garden. There are flowers, but there are also weeds and pests. However, the toxic optimist insists on ignoring anything but a blooming rose. Got aphids on your leaves? Just focus on the flowers. Don't let negativity into your garden, they would say. While it may seem uplifting, this approach can make you feel invalidated and disconnected from reality. Suppose you're going through a difficult breakup, feeling sad, confused, and seeking some emotional balance. The toxic optimist's advice is, there are plenty of fish in the sea, just smile and be happy. This excessive positivity neglects the complexities of human emotions and the realities of life's challenges. How do you cultivate your garden without letting the toxic optimist trample it with their indiscriminate insistence on only good vibes? One strategy is to engage them in a discussion that embraces both light and shadow. If they say, "Look on the bright side, at least you have your health," you can respond, "Yes, I'm grateful for my health, but it's also okay for me to feel upset about this specific issue." Both can coexist. You can also employ what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to feel and differentiate a wide range of emotions, both positive and negative. When the toxic optimist urges you to just be happy, take a moment to acknowledge and label your nuanced feelings. "I'm feeling a bit melancholic today because of X, and that's okay," can be a liberating statement. To reference Stoic thinking, Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." Note the balance, understanding our duties, which are not always pleasant, and enjoying the present. The Stoic approach is not about focusing solely on the positive or the negative. It's about embracing life's complexity with equanimity. So the next time the toxic optimist throws confetti on your carefully cultivated garden, take a step back. Remember that a garden needs both sun and rain to flourish. Embrace your full emotional spectrum and continue nurturing your garden with the richness and complexity it deserves. Sixth type of person, the manipulator. Imagine your life as a movie script. You are the main character and have an idea of how your story should unfold, where the plot twists are, who your allies and mentors are, and how your final act will be. Enter the manipulator, the dark producer who subtly rewrites your script without you noticing until the day you realize your plot has gone off track. The manipulator is skilled in the art of emotional or psychological maneuvers. They can use compliments, emotional manipulation, or even deception to steer you in a direction that benefits them. You may have a friend who always manages to make you pay for dinner, saying something like, "You know, I've been going through a tough month, and you are so successful that it wouldn't make much of a difference to you, but it would brighten my day. Over time, you realize that your generosity is being taken advantage of, but confronting them is uncomfortable because they've framed it as a favor to a needy friend. Dealing with a manipulator can be complicated. One method to neutralize their tactics is what some experts call fogging. This technique involves agreeing with any truths in the manipulator's statements, but refusing to be swayed by emotional coercion. If they say you are successful and should pay for dinner, you could respond, "You are right that I have been doing well, but let's split the bill as we usually do." Another approach is to set clear boundaries and enforce them. If the manipulator wants you to lend them money or commit to tasks you're not comfortable with, learn to say no assertively. Keep your tone calm and your words clear. "I can't lend you money, but I'm here to offer emotional support," sets a boundary while maintaining the friendship. Drawing inspiration from Stoic thinking, Epictetus warned us that we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. The manipulator thrives on your predictable reactions, manipulating your kindness, guilt, or desire for approval. By choosing to respond differently, you are taking back control of your script. So, if you encounter a manipulator in your life, remember that you are the one holding the pen. Your plot is yours to write, and while the cast may include a variety of characters, the journey of the protagonist, your journey, should always be guided by your own values and decisions. Claim your script and don't let anyone manipulate the narrative of your life. Seventh type of person, the time vampire. Imagine your daily routine as a carefully crafted symphony, where each instrument represents a task or commitment, and when played together, they create a harmonious balance. But then the time vampire joins, tuning out and drowning your melody, turning your beautiful composition into a dissonant noise. The time vampire is not necessarily malicious. In fact, they can seem quite benign. It might be a colleague who constantly interrupts you with trivial questions, turning your productive day into a series of fragmented moments. Or it could be a friend who invites you to numerous social events you have no interest in, making you feel obligated to attend and draining your time and energy. These interactions might seem inconsequential at the moment, but the cumulative effect can be deeply disruptive. So how do you protect your symphony from being ruined by a time vampire? An effective strategy is the Pomodoro technique, a time management method that involves breaking your work into intervals, traditionally 25 minutes long, separated by brief breaks. During these intervals, make it clear that you don't wish to be disturbed. This sets a boundary that protects your most productive moments from being wasted. If you find yourself dealing with a social time vampire, remember that saying no is not only acceptable, it's essential for your well-being. Instead of offering elaborate excuses, a simple, "Thank you for the invitation, but I can't make it," is sufficient. Declining an invitation is not a rejection of the person, it's an affirmation of your own needs and priorities. In the words of Seneca, a well-lived life is long enough. Stoicism teaches us that time is one of our most precious resources, one that must be allocated wisely. It's the canvas on which we paint the portrait of our lives, and we must be highly selective about who and what deserves a stroke of our brush. In the grand composition of your life, ensure that every note, every instrument, every melody is aligned with your higher purpose. Don't allow the cacophonous intrusion of a time vampire to throw your symphony into chaos. Hold the baton firmly and conduct your life with purpose, ensuring that each moment is a well-played note in your harmonious masterpiece. As we reach the conclusion of today's exploration of characters that can divert our path towards Stoic resilience and wisdom, we must not forget that self-awareness is key. It's easy to recognize these types in others, but the most challenging and enlightening task is to look within. Are you inadvertently playing one of these roles in someone else's life? Remember, Stoicism is not just about navigating the world, it's also about understanding and improving ourselves. If today's discussion has sparked a realization, an epiphany, or even just a bit of introspection, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Write your thoughts, share your experiences, and let's start a dialogue that enriches us all. Don't miss the chance to master your emotions. Grab the self-knowledge ebook now. Click the link in the first pinned comment and unlock your true potential. And that's all for today. But I ask that you don't leave this video just yet. Listen to what I have to tell you. Below, you'll find the link to our channel's exclusive store and other links that you should check out too. Don't forget to comment, "Dare me," so I can see that you made it this far. Remember, I read all the comments and I'll see you commenting. Stay on the screen to watch the next video that will appear here. It's really worth it, and I guarantee you'll like it. And for your attention, my heartfelt thanks. This was my contribution. May everyone be with the Creator.